Welcome to the Casuals Guide to UFC Fight Night Darish vs Tsarukyan, where I let you filthy casuals know why this card is going to be a banger. And this card is absolutely stacked. So go ahead and smash that like button and let's get right into it. In the main event, we got a casual's worst nightmare when two elite grapplers face off. The number 4 ranked lightweight Beneil Dariush takes on the 8th ranked Arman Tsarukyan. Dariush was on an 8-fight win streak when he got matched up against Charles Oliveira. He would lose in the first round when he would be on the receiving end of a barrage of punches. It was a huge setback for him, but he's going to look to bounce back against the surging Arman Tsarukyan. Arman is a 27-year-old lightweight who has faced some tough competition in the UFC so far. He is currently on a 2-fight win streak. He would win a unanimous decision over Damir Ismagulov. In his most recent fight, he would win against Joaquim Silva via TKO. And now he's looking to break into the top 5 with the win here. Both guys are very good grapplers. Dariush is more of a jiu-jitsu guy while Tsarukyan is more of a wrestler, but both are very elite at what they do. And I don't care if you hate grappling, don't forget to tune in. Don't miss out. Heavy hitting lightweights collide when Khalil the Warhorse Roundtree Jr. faces off against Azamat the Professional Marzakhanov. And Khalil Roundtree has finally found his groove at light heavyweight, winning 4 fights in a row, and those fights have been nothing but violent. He absolutely destroyed the knee of Modestas Bukauskas when he sidekicked his knee to win by TKO. And he would go on to destroy the body of Carl Robertson with some big knees to pick up another TKO. He would win a split decision over the surging Dustin Jacoby, and in his most recent fight, he landed a perfectly placed straight left hand that would floor Chris Daukaus. All his finishes have been brutal, but he's going to have to be very careful against the professional. Mirzakhanov is undefeated at 13-0. He is 3-0 in the UFC so far, and he made his UFC debut against Stefan Nchukwi, where he would land a flying knee in the 3rd round that put Nchukwi out cold. He would follow that up by finishing Devin Clark via TKO with some brutal ground and pound. And in his most recent bout, he would win a unanimous decision against Dustin Jacoby. 9 of his 13 wins have been by knockout or TKO. Both guys are heavy hitting strikers looking to keep their momentum going. It's going to be fun to see which one of these guys leave with the highlight reel knockout. Don't miss out. Rob Font welcomes Deiveson Figueiredo to the bantamweight division. The number 8 ranked bantamweight defends his spot in the rankings against the former flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo. Rob Font has been in the rankings for a very long time. He has struggled a bit to break into the top 5. He is 1-3 in his last 4, and he lost back-to-back unanimous decisions to Jose Aldo and Marlon Vera. He would get a great win over Adrian Yanez when he would knock him out in the very first round. In his most recent fight, he would lose another decision, this time to Corey Sandhagen in a fight he would take on short notice. It is no secret that Rob Font has big power. He has 9 wins by knockout or TKO, and he's facing another big puncher in Figueiredo. Figgy also has 9 wins by knockout or TKO, but in the flyweight division, where he was champion for a little bit, and he was huge for that division. It was clear the weight cut was too much for him, and after his loss to Brandon Moreno, he decided to move up in weight. It's going to be interesting to see how his power translates a whole division up, and whether his skills match up to make a run at bantamweight. Don't miss out. We got an interesting fight when the number 11 ranked middleweight drops down to welterweight to face the number 9 ranked welterweight Sean Brady. Kelvin Gastelum returns to welterweight after 12 fights at middleweight, his very first since 2016, and he reached great heights at middleweight. He even challenged for the title in a back and forth fight against Israel Adesanya, and now he starts a new chapter at welterweight. He is coming off a decision win over Chris Curtis, where he proved he is still one of the best strikers in the UFC. He will be welcomed back to the division by Sean Brady. Brady was on a roll in the UFC, winning 5 in a row. He had back-to-back finishes of Christian Aguilera and Jake Matthews. His biggest win would be a unanimous decision over Michael Chiesa. In his most recent fight, he would suffer the first loss of his professional career. He would fight Bilal Muhammad, and he would get stunned by a flurry of punches. He would lose that fight by TKO. He's going to look to bounce back and protect his ranking against a heavy-hitting striker in Kelvin Gastelum. This is going to be a great matchup for two guys trying to climb the ranks. Don't miss out. Middleweights look to bounce back as the Hawaiian Punahele Soriano faces off against Dustin Stoltzfus. Puna is a heavy-hitting striker with 6 of his 9 wins by knockout or TKO, and he's currently in a rough patch. He's 1-3 in his last 4, and his woes started when he lost a unanimous decision to Brandon Allen. He would lose a split decision to Nick Maximoff, and next, he would get a knockout win over Dalcha Lungiambula. In his most recent fight, he would get finished for the first time in his career against Roman Kopylov. He would go toe-to-toe with Kopylov, but he would take way too much damage to the body and he would lose via TKO. He has proved that he is tough, but he's going to have to clean up his striking when he faces Dustin Stoltzfus. Dustin has also been on a skid of his own, going 1-4 in his last 5. He lost a unanimous decision to Kyle Dawkins. Then he lost to Rodolfo Vieira via submission via rear naked choke. He would get submitted again by Gerald Mearshart via another rear naked choke, and he would get a nice decision win over Dwight Grant. But in his most recent fight, he would lose to Abus Magomedov via TKO. Both these guys will be looking to bounce back big and get some momentum going. Soriano is definitely the better striker and the bigger puncher, but Stoltzfus will be the better grappler, albeit not by much, since Puna does have a wrestling background and has never been submitted. Both guys have their back against the wall and will be looking to make a statement. Don't miss out. Alright guys, that was my rundown of the card. I hope you filthy casuals learned a thing or two. And here are some quick fights and fighters to look out for. Steve Garcia versus Melkazel Costa is an underrated banger. Both guys are tough strikers with solid grappling, and I have no doubt it's going to be a very fun one. But alright guys, it's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in, and I'll see you guys next week for UFC Fight Night Song versus Gutierrez. But until then, protect your neck and take care.
They talking crazy about you. They said
brother,
they smash
who
you.
cares? Who cares, brother? Who cares, brother? Who cares? Today, smash.